Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a look here at Solana, double checking a few important things here. First of all, Solana is still red on the day, hasn't recovered fully yet, but it is trying, and with Bitcoin kind of recovering here, doing a nice little bounce off of its key level support, breaking free from its bullish triangle pattern, we're in pretty good shape here to see further upside for Bitcoin, and in turn, I'm speculating most altcoins are going to recover, but you gotta recognize Solana swept both areas of liquidation perfectly here. I mean, take a look at this. This is not rocket science, folks. Look how simple this is. We took a long right here. We took, what is it? I think we got in at 255 and got out at 268. We took good 21% in 54 minutes, and then the price continued further up here to sweep this level of liquidation. Turned around at 271, and then comes all the way down here to sweep this lower level of liquidation at 245. And now it's almost as if it never happened. Okay, so again, this is just market makers 101, folks. This is what they do. They sweep areas of liquidation consistently, and they want to make sure to destroy any potential opposition. Again, keep in mind, the reason why they do that is just simple, simple opposition. In other words, they want to rid anyone else of being in that area, so that way they can manipulate the market as they see fit. So they set a lot of small limit orders, market orders rather, or sorry, no, they're limit orders, and they continue to push the price action in whichever direction they want. It's just a slow, steady stream. And then once they hit it, they dump it and turn it right around. So anyways, just kind of throwing it out there. That's why we look at liquidation, because that really helps us understand where the price action is being manipulated the most. Now that we set both those areas of liquidation, I'm speculating we're going to see some semi-normal price action. And what is semi-normal price action, folks? Honestly, there's really no description for it, especially nowadays with the way things have been moving. But let's take a quick look at the last 12 hours and see if there's any local liquidation. We got more to the downside than the upside, but there is a chunk between 256 and 258. So just know that that's there. From a macro perspective, we can see, of course, that 275 range to 280. That's kind of the next area of consideration. And then, of course, there's the 230 to 220 range. Other than that, let's take a quick look at Liquidation Delta. That's basically just telling us that we still have more shorts than longs on Solana, which is sensible. That does make sense considering we're still kind of in a descending trend and we had this pretty significant pullback from Bitcoin. But as Bitcoin starts to establish higher highs and higher lows, I think we're going to see a change in price action for Solana. When we take a look though at the price action, we can see a pretty good range, right? 240, 250, almost 260 and 270. So you could literally say every $10 we have heavy areas of people opening interest, and that's exactly what open interest is, where people are opening the most amount of positions. So we see the most amount of open interest at 240, again 250 where the price action's at right now, and then basically 258, 260. So just know we're kind of in the middle of the resistance range and support range, right? When you're above and or below these heavy concentrations of open interest, you can presume they're going to be support and resistance ranges. So every $10 is the easy way to remember it. We're going to start seeing some slowing for the price action, if you will. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there. We can see the daily time frame still likely very bullish as it was yesterday. We're above all moving averages, over 50 on the RSI. Even though it's tapering off, it's very healthy. Stochastic is swinging up for the second time. The second carries more weight than the first, so please understand that we're more likely to find further upside here moving forward. We take a look though. Remember, we got our all-time high at 260. That's from 2021, by the way. But again, retest here locally at about in November, mid to late November, roughly Thanksgiving. And then we have another retest here too. The key takeaway is we pretty much refuse to close above 260. Yeah, we closed at 261, but generally speaking, we need a solid closure over 260 to get us to that next tier, so to speak, right? So at this point, still a little early, but for the most part, we got a lot of beneficial confirming factors here. But closing over 260 is really going to be a deal breaker. Okay. Again, a solid close. We're talking like 265, 270. Then I think we can pump the price. Having said that, though, we're over 50 on the RSI. This is good. We're holding that level. Money flow index is high. That's a very good sign. Shows sustainability. Same thing as well with stochastic and MACD trying to swing up here. Okay. So again, those aren't like phenomenal momentous indicators, but the key takeaway here is that we're establishing higher lows and higher highs. Okay. Now you could argue this is a bearish type of flag pattern, which is potential. We want to be mindful of that. But again, if everything's bullish and you got a bearish pattern, what do you trade into? You don't trade the pattern. Okay. I don't know how many times I need to reiterate that and reaffirm it in my videos, but people seem to be so latched on to patterns that they go crazy with it. Okay. Now again, Bitcoin, bullish triangle, awesome pattern, right? However, it means very little if everything else is bearish. Coincidentally, everything's pretty bullish on Bitcoin. And in fact, we have a long at 1045. So the truth is Bitcoin is in pretty good shape. And that leads me to believe we're probably going to see this 260 threshold broken and closed above. We can get 3 or 4 4-hour candles above that level, or just say a daily close above 260, like 265 or higher. I'm really confident we're going to see some pretty nice continuation. We've broken this descending trend line. We've technically back-tested the descending trend line bullishly off of this local support at 243. Okay, so good news is 243 or 240 is a round number if you look at open interest. That's a pretty solid support. Okay, so even though we are in a descending trend, the likelihood of further upside is higher, just based on, again, Bitcoin performing well. Bitcoin starts running back down to 101,000, we're going to have a bad day again. So just please understand that none of this is set in stone. It's all based on Bitcoin and whoever decided to manipulate that coin. Right? Last night it was Asian market just dumping the heck out of it. Today, Bitcoin ramps up because potentially there's like a tweet from, I think President Trump said something about crypto. He alluded to it in one of his conferences. Okay, it could also be some fundamentals too. I believe there was, jobless claims today, if I'm not mistaken. Either way you look at it, folks, it was a positive sign. It's definitely good. It's helping our macro structure look continue higher and doing well. Ichimoku Cloud on the hourly here. This is not phenomenal, folks. So if you want to wait for confirmation, I would say a closure again, 255 or higher at the very least within 24 hours. So hypothetically priced as one of these, this is where you want to try to consider getting in, 255 to 260. Once more, I would hesitate to take a long at 255 to 260 until we close above 260 on the daily and or multiple times in the 4-hour. Again, the reason being is because we need to be able to control that level. We've had significant difficulties closing above that on the daily. So the macro is looking good. It just isn't great yet. So to me, 260 or higher seems like a pretty obvious confirming factor for us. Okay, that's what we got there, folks. I hope this made sense. I described it correctly. Deeply appreciate you watching and all your amazing support. You're fantastic. Future reference, if I am MIA over the next couple of days, my wife entered early labor last night, so we'll see here soon, kind of what that does for us. So if you see me disappear for a few days, just know I'm still active and well. I've been instructed by my community to post updates on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. While I strictly business on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, I'll make an exception here for the birth of my child. That's fine. All right. Thanks again, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next one. Take care.